Okay, she be going every single night. Day and night on my mind, pushing you to vibe.
How's it going, everybody? This is Top Drabo. Hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Alright folks, it's time for a rather honest discussion here. An honest discussion about reality television. Yes, I do say that. Why do I bring this up? Well, recently I've been watching a lot of reality TV, not just on my computer, but also on my TV. I'm talking about shows like, Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef, The Bachelorette, The Challenge, a whole bunch of those reality TV shows that are on TV nowadays that are extremely popular. And while they are extremely popular with viewers nowadays, there are still a lot of problems with reality TV that has negatively affected those that have watched the show and those that have been a part of the show in regards to their future behaviors. It's really a bit of a half and half here. So after watching a few shows lately, I'm going to talk a little bit about reality TV, what I think needs to be done to help make it better, and why I think it is such a controversial kind of show whatsoever. Because while it does produce a lot of excitement, unfortunately, reality TV also produces a whole lot of negatives. And I thought I'd share a little bit of that here in this video. So as we all know, reality TV obviously is completely different than scripted TV, in which in reality TV, everything happens literally right in front of us. It's unscripted. Literally everything just happens right out of the blue, and that generates a whole lot of excitement. And there are many shows that can really produce that kind of excitement. As I said before, some of those that I've mentioned already, but also shows, like game shows. Obviously those kinds of shows, they tend to have stuff happen right out of the blue, like mechanical problems or even, crazy guesses or something like that. Those fall right into it as well. The reality is that reality TV produces a lot of excitement. There's a lot of action that goes on during these shows. The fact that everything is happening really right in front of us without knowing exactly what's going to happen next, it really keeps every viewer on their feet. It really makes them want to watch the next episode because they really want to know exactly what is going to happen next. That's what reality TV does. And it's completely different unlike scripted TV, because here, everything, you have no idea exactly what's going to happen. And really, that's exactly why reality TV is so popular in the first place. And you know what? There are a lot of great shows that really produce that kind of energy. And really the best example I can think of is The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, because literally it's always on every single year. Literally, it's always a new contestant. There's always new people that are there on the show, and literally anything can happen, anything goes. Like, you can actually do something with them, and one time after another, one can really turn on each other, and then all of a sudden, a whole series of events ends up coming together that creates a huge climactic event that really brings everybody together and leaves everybody talking at the very next day about that particular show. That's exactly what reality TV is all about. But as I said before, it produces a lot of negatives, and one of those negatives that I usually look at is image, particularly with those that really are a part of the show. Those that come on to a reality TV show try to find a way to win something, like let's say a huge grand prize or maybe even the trip of their dreams, and yet endure a whole lot of negativity as a result. I mean, let's say that particular contestant is not like that usually in real life, like whatever venue that they usually work at, like at a restaurant or maybe at some sort of office level job or something like that. Or maybe they're just a stay-at-home person that really enjoys reality TV and just wants to be a part of that show just to have fun and also win as well. Let's say like they do something that is completely out of the norm, like sabotage another person on their team or another individual so that way they can get an advantage. Or they just start a fight or something like that, or they're just completely mouthing off at everybody that they are near. There's a real possibility that that's going to create a very negative image about that particular person. And not only that, it's going to reflect on them outside of the show as well. Viewers are going to think that that particular person is much worse than they think they are because of what they act like on the show, when in reality, when outside the show, they may not really be like that. As a result, this makes particular friends question them. They also question whether or not they can continue a relationship, and it can also affect their lives outside of the show as well, with their jobs, with their families, with their friendships, and all that stuff. It tends to generate a huge problem as a result. Look, no disrespect for those that want to go on reality TV and have some fun. It's a lot of fun in particular just to be a part of that show, but when something happens, if you're right in the middle of it, you're going to be talked about throughout the whole rest of the world. And sometimes that can produce a very big problem for you personally. The next thing is the unknown. Obviously, the unknown of what's going to happen next, because it is unscripted TV. That, like I said, produces a lot of excitement. You know, there's the possibility that you could see a fight that happens, or maybe somehow you see that great come from behind victory in which everybody roots for the underdog and they come through at the very end. Hey, it's unscripted, so usually the person themselves that are partaking in these kinds of shows, they are the only ones that know exactly what's going to happen next, and usually that's not reflected until the moment actually happens. But that's really a major problem that really happens too. You know, like let's say like what happens next ends up leading to what I had just mentioned earlier, or let's say they end up getting hurt, or end up, you know, like something like, let's say it ends up being one of the most anticlimactic endings of an entire season. Like you want to see something crazy happen, but in the end, it's really the expected that happens. So somebody like that is the favorite of that show ends up winning altogether. Hey, it really doesn't produce the excitement that it deserves. Not only that, you know, it tends to generate a lot of negativity as well. You know, like you're somebody that is competing on the show that is completely hated. Everybody wants you gone. They don't want you to win, but yet somehow you find a way to win. That's usually a part of that unknown with reality TV. Like sometimes it feels like it's scripted. You know, obviously, if you're the favorite and you go on to win, it's going to look like that it was really rigged. In fact, there have been a lot of viewers that have watched reality TV that have complained that, you know, shows were rigged for the benefit of that favorite contestant. And you know what? I've heard in the past as well, like back in the 50s or the 60s, there was a game show where it did that exact same thing as well. And of course, that led to a law that was passed by Congress to make sure that rigging in the contestant's favor never happens again. But hey, there is still a lot of allegations that, you know, even though it's supposed to be unscripted TV, these TV producers, they still make it look like that it was properly scripted. I mean, come on, don't you really think that it's best to just stand back and let these people just deal with it for themselves? And yeah, I feel like that it really hurts relationships with those that are on the show. It really makes them think negatively about them more than they did when they were just watching it as a viewer. And as a result, you know, they feel like that they do not want to come back on here if they are ever asked to come back and give it another shot or something like that. It makes the situation a whole lot worse. And as a result, it makes the lives of those that compete in that show a lot more miserable. But hey, as long as it creates the big bucks, that's enough for all the producers to give the viewers what they want, right? Well, sometimes it might be for the sake of those that are competing on the show, and that's just wrong. Most importantly, the thing that I have a problem with when it comes to reality TV is how it translates outside of it. You know, as I've mentioned before, you know, there are people that are competing on this show that are going to have their lives impacted as a result of what happens during their time on that particular show. Like if they win, hey, great, they're the most popular guy in the world. You know, they get to have all the money they want, they get to have all the fame, and hey, who knows, you may end up having a successful TV career yourself. Or if you end up getting hurt, or you end up doing something stupid, it's going to translate outside of that as well. You know, there are going to be people that are going to be hating you, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be questioning you, and there are just so many things that are going to happen afterwards that's really going to negatively affect that person. But let's take that out of the equation for a bit. Let's talk about the viewers themselves, the ones that are watching it. What are they thinking while they're watching it? Are they encouraged by what they see, that they feel like they want to take part in it themselves? Or it sort of gives them that real feeling that, hey, maybe it's just affecting them a little bit more than they think. Like we all know, we've heard those discussions about how video games can lead to violence. Well, obviously that's not true, but there are also some feelings that, you know, like reality TV and too much consumption of it and watching all these contestants go after each other the way they do, it's going to make those viewers think that, hey, I would want to do something like that myself in regards to, you know, like not being on the show, but doing exactly what they did and take it into their own hands. That can produce to a whole lot of tragedy, like for example, what we've already seen over the last couple of years. Trust me, that would be a very bad scenario. Reality TV can have a very negative effect on viewers, and really that can be because that it also translates to their relationships, where they end up continuously arguing with their families and their friends and all that stuff. It can also affect them at their jobs as well, where even though they continuously talk about it and they want to be a part of it, they also end up acting like those people that are on TV as well. And like they're acting like a wild mouth or something like that. That's going to hurt them there, and it's going to put them more at risk of being out of a job. And it can produce a whole lot of tragedies, like for example, like I said, gun violence or something like that, or even domestic abuse, or maybe just strained relationships altogether. It's not just relegated to the contestants on reality TV shows. It is also relegated to viewers that consume it as well. And really, there is no difference. It can affect both of them, everybody that takes part of it and watches it as well. So I personally enjoy reality TV when everything goes right. Yeah, there are a few moments that goes bad, but at the same time, everybody is happy. The viewers are happy, contestants are enjoying their time there. There's not really much negativity going on. In the end, we all get a happy ending and everybody is happy. That's usually the kind of reality TV that I like. And it's not just for reality TV competitions and game shows. It's also just regular reality TV shows where you follow somebody else's life and really just follow them 24/7 to see exactly what they do. That's usually the kind of reality TV shows that I like. But when there's a whole lot of negativity, a whole lot of abuse, and a whole lot of crazy stuff that's going on in reality TV, it's not just going to affect the contestants, it's also going to affect the viewers. And as a result, this can lead to a whole lot of problems that take place outside of reality TV. And really, a whole lot of that exploitation that you see as well, it can translate outside of it with their lives as well. I do feel like that reality TV needs a further discussion because while it can be enjoyable for the viewers and everybody that partakes in it, at the same time, there are a lot of varying factors where producers decide that they're just going to let things handle it on themselves, and as a result, things just get completely out of control. As a result, everything just goes completely by the wayside. I'm not saying scripted. I'm just saying, let them deal with it in a professional manner in which it doesn't produce a lot of negativity, and also, do your best to try to restrain any of those possibilities where anything could potentially go wrong, because in real life, things can go wrong. Otherwise, it's going to lead to a whole lot more worse things. And that person that ends up in that reality TV show, if anything bad ends up happening to them during their time there, it's going to translate to them outside of it. And as a result, it can lead to a lot of depression, it can lead to a lot of emotional problems, and more importantly, it can lead to a very tragic ending. And there's been a few occasions where people that have ended up on reality TV have ended up taking their own lives or have lost their lives in doing so. And that is a very sad thing. Reality TV is fun, but it can also have its downside. So I really feel like that reality TV needs a much further discussion. And I feel like that we need to learn a little bit more about what can be done to make sure that it's enjoyable, while at the same time making sure that it does not go completely out of control. I'm sorry if my explanations in today's video is a little bit confusing, but I'm just trying to explain everything from my personal opinion and what I see, so that way reality TV can be a lot more fun and also a lot more enjoyable as well. At the same time though, if it goes wrong, we've seen a whole bunch of instances of what could happen next. Yes, entertainment value may go up, but at the same time, it may be to the detriment of those that are watching or even being a part of it. So with that being said, what do you guys think about reality TV? Do you like it the way it is? Do you think that it personally can be better? And more importantly, what do you think about reality TV that makes it so controversial? Let me know down in the comments below and I'll be more interested in hearing your opinions about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for another video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. Comment below for future suggestions for all my videos, whether it's vlogs, projects, or challenges, you name it. Leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. And as always, follow me in my social media. All the links are in the description below. That's going to do it for another midweek upload. I hope you're all having another great day. And as always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.